Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is time for some June Club kits from Spellbinders. I'm going to show you a few of the kits that they sent me, and then we're going to get into a really fun project. So this kit that I'm showing you here is the Clear Stamp and Die of the Month Club. This one is called Paradise Resort, and it comes with this cute fob. Lots of fun sentiments, and then different pictures that you can either stamp on the key fob or cut out. You get a die for every single image, which is just fabulous. Next, I have their Glimmer of the Month Club, and this one's called Summertime Sentiments. You get a lot of fun sentiments and a coordinating die that will cut them out. So you're going to glimmer them all at once and cut them out all at once. Next up is the star of today's show. This is the 3D embossing folder of the month, and this one is called Summertime Citrus Twist. This folder is completely covered with these really cute citrus fruit slices. And last, I have the stencil of the month. This one's called Summertime Graphics, so I'm sure you caught the theme so far for this month's clubs. I love creating summertime cards, so I can't wait to get into all of these club kits. This month's club comes with 5 stencils. 3 of them create a beach ball pattern, so it's a layering set. And then you have these really clever stencils. One creates a cloud scene, and it has the sun. And the one on the right creates a color block scene, so I'm excited to play with these. But let's start out with the 3D embossing folder. So I'm going to do some very simple stamping, and I'm going to create my own stamps using some circle dies and some Spellbinders foam. This is some pop-up die cutting foam. I'll pull out a sheet of this, and I'm going to start die cutting a couple of these circles. I used 2 different sizes of circles, but if I were to do this again, I would just use the larger of the 2 circles. I'll take this off camera and run these through my Platinum 6. And I'm going to create a bunch of these circles so that I can use multiple colors of ink. If you've never tried this technique, I highly recommend it. It's so fun and easy to do. I use a little bit of dot liner to tape these onto my acrylic blocks. I've already chosen all of the colors I want to use. But let's go ahead and emboss our panels. So this is a half sheet of 80-pound Nina Solar White, and I like to moisten it down with a baby wipe on both sides. This prevents cracking when you run it through your machine. And if you use this size of cardstock, which is 8.5 by 5.5, you'll get 2 A2-sized panels from this. Okay, I can't wait to show you this. It's kind of hard to see with the white cardstock, but let me hold it up a little bit closer to the camera, and it is so 3D. It's just adorable. There's a lot of techniques that you can do with these embossing folders. But for this one, I just wanted to create these circles of color using my foam die cuts. I'll start with orange first, and I'll stamp it off onto a piece of scrap paper just to make sure the ink is on the foam. And then I'm just going to start inking the circles on this embossed panel. I pressed kind of hard there, but it still leaves some white spaces on it. The smaller the acrylic block, the better. As you can see, I got some ink where I didn't want it to be because of the acrylic block. I'm just going to start with orange. I also cut out some circles with regular cardstock to use as masks. Most of these citrus slices are overlapping, so I'm just kind of laying the mask in place and stamping over it. It's quick and easy and really fun to do. So I'm going to stamp out this whole panel using orange, yellow, and green, and then just kind of moving the masks around as I need them. I'm not sticking them in place. However, you can use masking paper if you'd like, but I just found this to be a quick way to mask everything. Here I'm putting the mask at the side of my panel just to protect my work mat. And then with the pressure, you can get different looks on this 3D embossed panel. I'm pressing down pretty hard here. Okay, so let's try out some green ink next. Again, I'm stamping it off onto a piece of scrap paper before I bring it to my panel. And I'm not shooting for perfection here. If it's a little off the circle, I'm all right with that. I think it looks really whimsical and cute. Here again, I'm putting my scrap paper off the side of the panel to protect my work mat. So just have fun with this process. I stamped out another panel off camera and I used a pink to represent pink grapefruit, and that looked so cute as well. I love my pink. I didn't think of it for this first panel. Now let's do some yellow slices. These are all inks from Positively Saturated Inks from Simon Says Stamp. I'm going to stamp another yellow slice at the bottom of this panel. This one didn't need a mask. Sometimes I'm using up to 3 masks to get to the slices that are really covered up by other slices. Look how cute that is turning out. So I'm just going over the panel with the different colors, trying to mix and match my colors so they're not all together. Half of the panel I'm going to completely cover with ink, and the other half I'm going to leave more white spaces. You'll see that here in just a minute when I slice this in half. Spellbinders also has just a regular embossing folder that doesn't have as much dimension to it, but I really love Spellbinders 3D embossing folders. You can do so many fun techniques with them. I'll leave the link to a couple of other videos that I did recently using some 3D embossing folders from Spellbinders, just to give you some more ideas of different techniques. And this is a really good use of my acrylic blocks. Since I use the Mini Misty so often, I don't use my acrylic blocks. It was fun to pull these out. Okay, here is the completed panel. I'll just put one more stamp right here at the side. And now I can cut this piece of paper in half, and I'll have 2 panels to work with. But I'm going to be working with the side that is completely covered, or mostly covered, I'd say 90% covered with ink. Here are the 2 panels I just stamped out. And then here are the panels I did with some pink ink, and I love those too. So if you enjoy making fun panels for your cards, this is definitely one to pick up. It's not only for summer, you could use this all year round. I'm using some tape runner to attach this to a top folding card base. I'm using a lot of tape runner, and then I even come in with glue off camera, and the sides that are still kind of puckering up, I'll add liquid glue inside. I'll just kind of squirt it in there and glue it down. The second panel I'm going to use to cut out a few of the fruit slices and add them to the front of my card around my sentiment. I'm just fussy cutting a few of these out. I didn't want to cut them out with my circle dies, of course, because I didn't want to flatten any of that lovely dimension and detail. So I'm pulling in an oldie here. This is a Clear Stampin' Die of the Month Club called Hydrangea Bouquet, and it's from January of 2023. But I thought this sentiment was just perfect for this card. It says, "You brighten my day." I embossed it with some orange embossing powder onto some black cardstock, and now I want to fishtail one end of this. Spellbinders has tag punches now that would do this, but I don't have that yet. I'm just using my scissors to cut out this fishtail. The sentiment I'm going to glue down flat. And then I found some really cute polka dotted green ribbon in my stash. I had to detach this from my card base to do this because I want the ribbon to go behind my main panel. But fortunately, at that time, I didn't have any liquid glue on it yet. I'll tuck this right next to the sentiment. And then I can flip this over and press the ends onto the back of this panel. I'm going to trim the left side down just a bit. And now I can reattach this to my card base. Now I'm going to add some more of these fruit slices around the sentiment. I'm just using more liquid glue for this. Glue the lemon slice kind of at the top. And then the lime slice will come off the edge, and I'll just have to trim that down. I do end up putting a few enamel dots around this panel. Let's go ahead and flip this over and trim off the overhang. I also used that same panel to cut out more fruit slices to decorate the inside of this card. I'll show you that in just a minute, but I decided to pull out my glitter pen and go over the 2 fruit slices that I cut out, just to add a touch of summer sparkle to this card. And here is the card all done. Let me show you the inside. Again, this embossing folder is called Summertime Citrus Twist, and I think it is just fabulous. Thanks for watching, and thanks for spending some of your time with me today. I'll be back again really soon with more Club Kit fun. Take care, everyone. Bye.